to the 757 Connection, the best way to stay connected in your community. From the lens of the youth, we'll give our best take on what's going on. My name is Caleb.
My name is Henry.
My name is Jamal.
And we are
the 757 Connection.
Now, we have a special guest for y'all today. We have the Commonwealth Attorney of Hampton. We have Mr. Anton Bell. We'd like to thank you for being here.
Good morning.
Mr. Bell. Good morning. And our first question for you is, can you explain your role as the Commonwealth Attorney of Hampton?
Okay, so as Commonwealth Attorney, I am the Chief Law Enforcement Officer for my jurisdiction, which would be the city of Hampton. And in that role, I am responsible for enforcing the laws of our city, state laws. Federal laws are enforced by the U.S. Attorney's Office. However, anything that happens within the jurisdiction of the city of Hampton, I'm responsible for enforcing that. So, for example, if a person goes out and commits a crime, my office is responsible for, if once that person is caught, bringing them to court and then prosecuting that crime to get accountability for whatever the action may have been.
How long have you been the Commonwealth Attorney here in the city of Hampton?
So I have been the elected Commonwealth Attorney for, it'll be 11 years come this June. Let me see, 2002. Yes, it'll be 11 years come this June. I have been in the office of the Commonwealth Attorney's Office since November 2000. And then I prosecuted also in Portsmouth, Virginia for a year and a half.
So as a Commonwealth Attorney, how do you connect with your youth, your local youth in the community?
It's funny you asked that. Okay, so right now I'm doing a little plug for and some people in here, so I'm showing them as well. So I have this JCAP T-shirt or polo on, which is Junior Commonwealth Attorneys Program. So my job is to prosecute cases, but my passion is positioning young people into purpose. So I have a mentorship program that I do for free. I've been doing it since 2017. And what it is basically for an entire week, there's a boot camp that I bring young people in, 7th, 8th, and 9th grade. And I expanded last year, the 10th and 11th, because of COVID. But it's back down to now 7th, 8th, and 9th. And what we do is I expose them to the criminal justice system. They go into court. They talk to judges. They go up to Richmond. They talk with the Attorney General office. We go into the FBI camp. We've done that before and look at their artillery and have people talk to us about drones and their investigations. The Sheriff Department is involved. Hampton Police Department is involved. In fact, last year it was actually on the campus of their training center. And so it's grown over the year. This year, we're actually going to D.C. and Senator Mark Warner is going to be a host for us. So it's continually expanding because what we're trying to do is give our young people exposure to any part of the criminal justice system. And also we go to the Capitol and do a tour and see where legislators make laws. But we want them to have knowledge of what it is that's involved in the criminal justice system. And if they're interested, maybe it will spark an interest or spark some of that passion they may have for law enforcement down the road.
So do you have any suggestions for our listeners as we try to uplift our community?
Yes. Okay. So when it comes to community, one thing that I always tell people is be the change agent that you want to see take place. If you want there to be less violence in your community, first of all, you got to be a peacemaker. Second of all, you cannot be someone who promote violence. Right. Now, let me give you an example for young people. One of the things that I see that's very common is these TikTok videos and videos that's on Twitter and Instagram where it's fight videos and they go viral. And people are up there and they're cheering and they're laughing and they're promoting it. You can't promote violence and then say you want peace. Right. It just doesn't work that way. Now, I do understand that you may not want to get involved in a sense of a physical fight and get involved in that way, but you can't promote it though. You can't be there laughing, cheering it on, and then say, oh, I want peace in my community. Because what you don't understand is, although you may think it may start out as a fight, I know many of you already know that many fights have started out just as a fist fight, and then it got even more violent and became a gunfight. And a bullet has no name on it. And so while you're up there cheering, I've had a case where the young girl was out there and she was trying to be a part of the crowd. And they start shooting, and the bullet had no name on it, and she's dead, and she was 13 years old. And so you have to be careful concerning how you promote or you tolerate or you're kind of apathetic concerning violence.
Now, before we, ask for our advice of success, I do have a question. As youth, we tend to see things and we tend to, do our part to ensure that we can do our part to fix these things. But in terms of your position, what do you think the youth can do to ensure, our safety for the coming years?
Okay, so one of the things I've also seen as a trend is when it comes to violence, most times the individuals that are targeted or the individuals that are or fall to be victims of that violence, they have some type of relationship with the perpetrator. And so when you make choices, you shouldn't just make good choices concerning your career, concerning school. You should also make good choices concerning your associates. Birds of a feather, what?
Flock together.
Come on. That's what they do. And so I've seen it too many times where people have died or been shot from friendly fire, which is someone who was with them trying to get someone else, and they're the ones that end up getting shot and killed. And then I've also seen where people are following behind someone and they find themselves in a situation simply because they're following and not being a leader. So I would say my number one advice to young people when it comes to not being a victim of violence is make wise choices concerning your surroundings and your associates.
So, with all of our guests, we ask for, at the end of the podcast, we ask for a little piece of advice or success that you could share with our listeners.
Absolutely. My biggest advice to anyone, particularly in your age group, is to make good choices now. Right now, you are the sum total of every choice you've ever made in life, good, bad, and different. And it doesn't, again, begin with just making good choices concerning your academics or concerning your associates. It really is a person that has a vision concerning what they want to do. Like when I sat down and I met Caleb said he wanted to be a politician. That blew me away because I've yet to meet a young person his age to tell me something like that. But already Caleb has a vision for what he wants. So you may not necessarily know exactly your career path, but you do know what you like. You do know what you're attracted to. And so what I would say is begin to hone in on those skills, begin to hone in on those desires that could potentially be streams of income for you. Because when you prepare yourself, that's the person that's going to be successful in life. A person that's ill prepared for the next year or 4 years down the road, that's the person that's going to be scrambling with all the other individuals trying to figure out how they're going to survive or how they're going to be able to one up someone. The person that I always see rising to the top when it comes to competition is that person that prepared years ago. Preparation always equals success. It never fails. It equals success in the courtroom. It equals success in life. Prepare yourself. Make good choices concerning your academics. Make good choices concerning your associates. If you are an eagle, why are you hanging around with turkeys? Don't do it. Because again, either you're going to influence them or they're going to influence you. Most likely they're going to influence you. And so go up. Make sure you're hanging around people that's going to promote you, that's going to encourage you, that's going to hold you accountable to being the best that you can be. Remember this, you guys are uniquely and divinely gifted and talented and have the ability to do things that no one else on this earth was created to do it the way you are or you were created. Make sure you take advantage of those things, hone in on those things. Make sure your skill level, make sure your skill level is at that level. Then when that open door comes your way, and it will come your way, you're prepared to walk through it. Prepare yourself.
Powerful points. Thank you, Mr. Bell, for being here today. We want to thank you for your time as well as your knowledge. And we also want to say you're never too young to make a change.